In this video we'll be looking at grading different types of assignment. Grading is now completed through the learning management system, and this applies to all types of assignment, whether it's an essay submitted online, an in-class presentation or an end-of-semester exam. In most modules you'll find assignments at the very top under the module overview and assessment toggle. In this example on screen you can see that in this fictional module students have 3 assignments: a submitted essay, an in-class presentation and a terminal exam. We look at how you grade each assignment type in turn, as there is some variation depending on the type of assignment completed. Let's get started with how to grade assignments where students upload and submit a document, such as an essay, report, reflective journal or portfolio. Clicking on any assignment gives you a quick overview of how many students are meant to complete it and how many have actually submitted. It also shows the due date and the constraints around late submission. For most assignments, students will be prevented from submitting a late assignment and will only be allowed to submit once they have contacted the program coordinator and been granted permission to do so. There are 2 options on this page: View All Submission or Grade. Clicking on View All Submissions shows an overview of the entire class in relation to this assignment. You'll see information about each submission, such as who was submitted and whether their submission has been graded or not. Clicking on the red Grade button for any student will bring you to the grading page for that student for this assignment. On the left hand side of the page here you can see the submitted assignment. Use the scroll bars to scroll up and down. To move back and forth through the different pages of the assignment, use the arrows up here. Alternatively, to go to a specific page, use the drop-down menu up here to select the page you wish to go to. Over on the right hand side in the grading and feedback panel, you'll see the VeriCite score for the assignment. VeriCite is the plagiarism detection service built into the learning management system, and if you click on the similarity score, you'll get a full report about the sources used in the assignment. Just above the VeriCite score, highlighted on screen at the moment, is the student selection drop-down menu. Use this to move from one student to another without having to go back to the previous page. So we've moved from one student to another and we're ready to start grading the student's work. Across the top of the grading screen you'll see this annotations panel. The panel contains different options for adding on-screen annotations to assignments as part of the feedback process. However, the most useful of these functions is the Add Comment capability, which you can see highlighted on screen here. Click on the Add Comment button and then click at a point in the assignment that you wish to add a comment to. In the example on screen we're going to add a comment to the student's introduction to their essay. You'll need to draw a square shape, then click inside the box to begin typing. When you finish writing, the caption goes into hiding. Just hover over it with your mouse to display the caption again. The really useful part about this function is the ability to save certain phrases that you find yourself using very often. For example, when you comment on an introduction, grammar or student's bibliography, you may often find yourself using the same phrases over and over again. To save a phrase, after typing it out, just click here in the top right of the comment box and then select the Add to Quick List option. The learning management system will then save the phrase for you for later reuse. To reuse the phrase, add a new comment box, as in the example on screen, then click on the top right and select the phrase from the list displayed. You can also delete phrases from your quick list by clicking on the X-shaped delete button next to any of the phrases. You can change the appearance of the grading screen using these buttons in the bottom right. The leftmost button hides the assignment and displays only the grading and feedback panel. The right button hides the grading and feedback panel and displays only the assignment submitted, while the middle button restores the default view of the assignment alongside the grading and feedback panel. The grading and feedback panel is where you'll add the student's numerical grade for their assignment out of 100%. There's no need to worry about weightings, as the learning management system will handle these on your behalf, so you'll always be grading out of 100. Once grading is completed, select the Marking Completed option from the drop-down menu underneath. This tells the system that the grade has been completed and is ready for review, moderation and potential release, which will be completed by the program administrator. Further below there are additional feedback options. You may use these in addition to, or in place of, the option to annotate the submitted assignment that we looked at earlier. There are 2 options. The one highlighted on screen at the moment is the option to add audio feedback. This allows you to record yourself giving feedback on the assignment for the student to listen back to later. To give audio feedback, click on the red record button to begin recording. Note that the appearance of the button changes to indicate that it's recording. Once you've completed your recording, click on the square stop button to finish. Use the triangular play button to listen back to the feedback you've recorded. If you're happy with it, click on upload to submit the recording. If you're not happy with it, you can click the record button again to record over the original recording. Beneath the audio feedback utility is the option to add written feedback if you'd prefer. Simply type your feedback to the student and that's all there is to it. Regardless of what option you choose for providing feedback, there's 2 important things to note. Firstly, make sure you click on Save Changes, otherwise all your hard work will be lost. Secondly, be consistent with the feedback approach you choose. If you use audio feedback for one student, you should use it for all students for that assignment to ensure that they all receive the same type of feedback. Feel free to change your feedback approach from one assignment to another, but remain consistent for each student within a particular assignment. Now we're just going to take a quick look at grading other types of assignment. When you're grading an examination, you're obviously not going to have an online document available to you. In this case, what you need to do is simply go into the grading for the exam, find the student you wish to grade, and then open the grading interface for them. When the grading page loads, there won't be a document to display on the left of the screen because the exam script will be in your physical possession instead. Therefore, we'll click down here in the bottom to expand the grading and feedback panel to give us more room to work with. Then all you need to do is provide the grade for the exam as a whole, set the marking status to in review, and then provide feedback on each exam question answered in the exam script. As before, you can choose between audio feedback or written feedback. And when you're done giving your feedback, be sure to click on Save Changes. The final assessment type in our exemplar module is an in-class presentation. In this particular example, we're grading using an assignment rubric. Rubric grading relies on grading criteria with associated points to calculate the grade and highlight the stated achievement level to students. You do not need to use a rubric for an in-class presentation, but you may find it helpful as it can speed up the process of what can otherwise be a time-consuming task. If you wish to use a rubric, please contact the learning technologist. To grade using a rubric, click on the standard you think the student met in their presentation. You may provide written feedback on all, some, or none of the criteria should you wish. So, in this example on screen, we thought that the student's presentation was well organised, so we're going to click on Excellent to award 5 points for that. We thought his presentation style was competent, so we click on Level 2 to award 3 points. We're going to write a quick note of feedback for him because we thought the font he used in the presentation was too small, so we're going to let him know that so that he can improve future presentations. Finally, we felt that both his communication aids and content were excellent as well, so we're going to click on Excellent again for both of these to give 10 points for each. Next, we have to mark the workflow state, so select In Review as always. If you wish to provide general overall feedback, you can do so using either the audio feedback or written feedback options. Finally, click on Save Changes to complete grading the student's presentation. If you need to know more about grading in the learning management system, just contact the learning technologist or check out any of the other videos in this series.